Hello and welcome to Love It Film. My name is Jamie and thank you for tuning in to the show. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to sit down, relax and enjoy an interview with somebody who is in the film industry. Now my guest today, she is a multi-talented actor. She's been in lots of things. You know her from Mass Effect 3, Cyberpunk 2077. She was in The Last Story. She was also in so many different video game projects. I mean, she's done a lot of different things, and if you're new to filmmaking, if you're new to acting, it's really good to listen to what she has to say. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the interview. Alex, thanks so much for coming on. I mean,
Yes.
it's cool to get an actor with like yourself who's done just such a wide caliber of things. I mean, I read you started in theater and stuff like that, and you've gone
Yes.
in, you've done many TV shows, you've been in movies, you've been in video games. Could you talk a little bit about where your acting journey began?
Right. Where did my acting journey begin? I always wanted to be an actor. I never wanted to do anything else. So you could sort of say, I guess it began when I was four, in a way, just because there was nothing else I wanted to do. And so I, you know, did Saturday school, drama class, singing, dancing, that kind of stuff. And then when I was at secondary school, I did all the drama stuff. And then I left, and then I did a big TV show that was never released, which broke my heart, but taught me a very good lesson, which was go to drama school, get your stripes, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I did. I went to drama school and I, left and I did casualty and doctors and the bill and all that kind of stuff. And then when I was 23, I got into video games and kind of here I am. I can't believe I'm still working, you know, 20 years after leaving drama school. It feels very surreal and also like, where did the time go?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and you've been in so many different things as well. I mean, I love video games, you know. I mean, games like Mass Effect 3, which you were in, Cyberpunk 2077. It's cool to, use the acting you got, like your experience from drama school, which is like, which I'm assuming is pretty serious acting, and bringing it into a video game, which people don't realize you guys in many games, it's not just voiceover work, you're doing performance capture and stuff like that. Do
Yes.
you have a big, say, different sort of approach when you're approaching a live action role, whether it be theater or movies, opposed to say one of your video game roles, or do you just go in the same way?
That's a great question. And I think the answer is you have to approach each project differently. Size of the role, project that you're in, accent work, physicality work, but also, yeah, the medium that you're working in. Doing a performance capture job is very different to just doing a voiceover job. And doing a film is very different to doing a play, and doing a play is very different to doing a TV show. So I would say that over the course of your career, you have to give a lot of thought to, okay, what medium am I in right now? And you have to constantly be adapting and learning and growing from people that you're working with, people that know more than you, people that do more stuff than you, all that kind of stuff. Yes, every single job is different, is the answer. Sorry. I can go into more detail, but we will be here a long time. And I appreciate you may have more questions.
No, that's okay. It's all interesting, you know. I mean, for someone like yourself who's done so many different things, like I mean, I saw you were in like Come Fly With Me as well years ago, so many different shows and stuff. I assume you've done a lot of like say auditions going in, and
Yes,
from talking to other people who are in your crazy industry,
it
it's a
is
world
crazy.
just filled with like rejection and getting your hopes up, and then like you were talking with that TV show earlier. What advice would you have to people starting out who are getting into this world and dealing with that?
First of all, it is brutal. That's
Yeah.
the truth. It is brutal. It will break your heart. Accept it. But second of all, know that almost nothing is ever personal. I've lost jobs because I've been too tall. I've lost jobs because I've been too short. I've lost jobs because I've been too old. I've lost jobs because I've been too young. I've lost, this sounds ridiculous, but like, I've lost jobs because I'm not attractive enough. I've also lost jobs because I'm too attractive for the role. It's so
Wow.
subjective, but
Yeah.
it's so subjective. That's my
Hmm.
point. For one person, you're too tall, but for the other person, you're too short. It doesn't make any sense. For one person, you're too pretty. For the other person, you're too ugly. It doesn't make any sense. It's all subjective. So even though going back to point one, yes, it is full of rejection and it will break your heart. try not to take it personally because it is rarely personal. Point three, whether you have a win or a rejection, give yourself something nice to just to enjoy afterwards, you know, like go for a walk in the park. I used to, when I was doing a lot of in-person auditions, with that's where you're in the room versus
Yeah.
self-tapes, because the whole world of acting is now self-tapes. But you know, I used to go and I would deliberately buy myself something nice to eat afterwards. I'd be like, okay, well, if nothing else, I've had a good meal after this, or I've had an ice cream, or I've had a good piece of chocolate, or something like that. So a little treat just to make yourself feel good. And the other thing is, I think keep moving forwards. So don't stop moving forwards, don't stop learning, don't stop building on your craft. Always find a reason why you got the job, and always find a reason why you didn't get the job in the best way possible. I just lost out on a huge lead role in a new TV show for Netflix. But the actress that it went to actually was American, and it is based on a kind of classic. If I told you the name, it's a bit like a sort of it's a classic American book.
Yeah.
And so, and it's world famous and everyone's heard of it. And so I was like, do you know what? It went to an American. I get it. I'm a Brit, you know?
Yeah.
So there's no hard feelings about that. So try to kind of find a reason, you know? And then the producers have actually called me in for a smaller role where the character's European. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense, you know? So
Yeah.
try to find a reason why you didn't get the job for the best reason possible. And actually, when you get the job, be like, yeah, I am the best person for this part because I'm, you know, assertive and capable, like the lawyer that I'm playing in XYZ, you know, sort of
Yeah.
try to find the good, or the, you know, the universal messages that are coming through for every role that you don't get and every role that you do get.
Absolutely. And I mean, sorry to hear that, by the way, with that role. Did you have to
Oh,
do
it's
like an accent, an American accent? And was
yeah,
that
she was
like some,
American.
is that something you've done before? I've seen on like your
Oh,
show reel and stuff.
yeah,
So
I do it a lot, so I was very comfortable. But you know, it is a quintessential American novel. There's going to be a lot of eyes on the project. It's absolutely fine that I didn't get it.
yeah, I get you. I get you. And you know, you mentioned auditions and doing in person or Zoom or whatever. And you know, a couple of years ago, when I was fresh out of college, you know, I interned in a casting agency here in Ireland, and I was shocked to see that they were like, "Okay, you're contacting this person to come in for an audition," and I was assuming everybody would be coming in the room and audition, but like 95% of it was all on Zoom. Do you think that's a bad thing for an actor? Do you think that gives you a disadvantage opposed to an advantage?
Honestly, I think it's 50-50. The
Yeah.
advantages are I get to do a lot more auditions because I'm not having to travel to a casting office. So I can shoot 3 auditions here in a morning. That's great. I also have full control over the takes that I send. I have total control over what the image looks like. I can do as many takes as I want. That's all fantastic. I love that level of control. The downside is you never get any direction. And then people
Yeah.
just go, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And you're like, well, I can do something different, you know? Um, it sounds really silly, but a very basic example would be, so I went to the French lycée when I was at school. I'm completely fluent in French. I've worked extensively in French, and I often get hired to do a French accent. But when a casting comes through, well, my question is, you know, do you want the kind of strong comedy French accent like this that can be sometimes hard to understand? Or do you want a more subtle sort of French accent that a lot of people can understand, but it might not be quite what you're looking for the character? You know, there's
Yeah.
subtle adjustments that could mean that you do or don't get the job. Being in the room means you can make those adjustments. Whereas, as you know from working in a casting office, quite often they'll just go, no, next. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, I haven't had a chance to actually, you know, strut my stuff or kind of spread my wings or show you what I can do. What's your experience of being in the casting office? I'm quite interested to know.
I interned when I was about, say, I think 21, 22, and it's a lot of dealing with the admin stuff, as in you're, you know, dealing with people reaching out for auditions, going through self-tapes. But I mean, my experience was good for the most part. I mean, they would ask for, you know, my opinion on what, say, somebody's show reel was like, or their self-tape for a little role and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But I mean, mostly I was just surprised that how many people don't get a role, you know? I mean,
yeah,
after looking at hundreds of people, they're still like, I don't know who we're gonna choose, you know. And just
yeah,
from an intern perspective, you know, as a young man, I was just like, whoa, That's
So here's a
crazy. Yeah.
question that I think your listeners would appreciate. Top 3 things that made casting directors say yes on a self-tape off the top of your
Oh
head.
wow, wow. Top three things. Confidence is number one, as in knowing who you are and knowing what you want to do and what you want to put out there and what energy you want to give. I think number two is just even in the Zoom calls, just like being nice. I noticed if somebody wasn't, for the most part, everybody was very, very nice. But that was a
Yeah.
big thing, just manners and stuff like that. Because sometimes even, as you definitely know, casting agents and directors don't have manners. So it's
Yes.
good to be the nice person,
Person
you
that
know?
does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the third thing, let's think here on what they're looking for. I mean, it's like what you said. I mean, it doesn't matter how brilliant of an actor you are. They're looking for like this niche, very specific type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And if you're
They don't
not
take it
their
personally.
thing, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not personal. So yeah,
Yeah. That's good. I think that's really good for people to hear, to be honest with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you find it hard just being an actor in this world because like there's no real, manual or book you can go towards to
Yeah.
navigate through that type of thing,
It's a
especially
hundred,
auditions and stuff.
it's 100% exhausting.
If you are enjoying this show, why not leave a review on Apple Podcasts? Believe it or not, really helps out the show. If you want to help out the show further, we also have a Patreon, and if you subscribe to our Patreon, a little goes a long way. We have exclusive content there that can help you in becoming a filmmaker. It brings me on to a question I wanted to ask you as well. Like, is there something that people don't realize about the life of an actor that you know that is 100% like totally true that someone wouldn't really realize?
Most actors are broke,
Yeah.
really. Like most actors are broke. Most actors have second jobs, teaching, invigilating, writing. Most actors are rejected more times than they are said yes to. Um, yeah, I think those ones are quite key actually, because the amount of times that people say to me, well, I thought actors were rich. And I'm like, no, most actors have absolutely no money, and live paycheck to paycheck. And I think that's why I am actively seeking out, big TV shows that I can do across multiple episodes just to keep the wolf from the door, really,
Yeah.
that will be the next move for me, booking a TV show that I can, be in 8 episodes across or something like that. And also keeping on with the video games, which I love and have been so kind to me over the years. I can't tell you.
Yeah, I mean the games you've been in as well. Like, is there a character that you feel the biggest connection to out of the ones you played in games?
Oh, it's so hard. So many people ask me that. It's like choosing a favorite child.
Yeah,
There really isn't. There's a few that stand out. Aya in Assassin's Creed Origins was a real gift because she's so important to the Assassin's Creed canon. So I felt very honored to be playing her. Joining Mass Effect 3 as Samantha Trainer was just amazing because I was opposite the kind of the titans of the video game world, and it taught me a lot. Taking on the lead role of the Inquisitor in Dragon Age Inquisition changed the course of my career. So I'll forever be grateful to BioWare for giving that to me. There's a wonderful woman called Tezzy in Amnesia Rebirth, her story was so big and so
yeah.
moving. It's about childbirth and child loss. And, playing that just allowed me to really express myself creatively as an actor. And, I'm recording I'm looking at a list here because I've decided to keep a list of the games that I'm working on so that I don't forget.
Yeah.
So when they come out, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in that one. But I've got 6 different games coming out soonish, this year or next year. And I just feel very lucky. I feel very, very lucky. That's my overriding sense of my career. Is it certainly hasn't been a linear career. It's been very up and down, as is the path of most actors, to be honest, unless you are an extremely fortunate, 16, 17-year-old Keira Knightley or Carrie Mulligan. Most careers go like that. And I still just feel very lucky. I feel like the fact that I've been able to work extensively in the video game world has really kept the wolf from the door and has kept me creatively and artistically satisfied. And without that creative outlet, I think I would have gone crazy. and
Yeah.
now I'm doing a lot of executive producing as well, predominantly in video games and audiobooks, and a few short films actually, to kind of whet my appetite, not whet my appetite, to dip my toe in the
Yeah.
water of you know of film and TV executive producing. Um, and I love it because it gets me to use my skill set, which ironically, and I found this really interesting, I've noticed that everything that I sort of get hired for in video games, strong leadership qualities, forthright, courageous, they are all qualities that you need to be a successful executive producer. I'm just kind of using the best of my skill set basically to transfer things over.
That's smart. That's smart. And I mean, it's great that you have all these characters you can, use for. I mean, an actor like yourself, you need to act, I'm assuming, you need to get that out there. What's it like being an actor in a game? Because I assume it's not like a movie. I mean, games take way longer. I mean, are you
Yeah.
given a script with an outline and what your character's going to go through? Dialogue, is it changing all the time?
Dialogue is constantly changing, scripts are constantly changing, outlines, storylines can constantly change. I'm very lucky because I'm in this position now where I'm quite often playing quite big characters. I will go to the companies and say, tell me everything that I need to know for my character's journey. So I'm lucky like that. But a lot
Yeah.
of people can't do that when they're starting out. And they can't do it for smaller characters. And, quite often there's not necessarily any point, because if you're priest number 3 or bar wench number 5, you don't need to know the whole story of the game. You'll be there for days. But I would say to anyone starting out, always ask for as much information as possible. Get the scripts in advance if you can. There is no harm in asking. The worst they're gonna say is no.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, I was talking to the guys from Rockstar, like the main three guys from GTA
Yeah,
5, like Ned
yeah,
Luke
yeah.
and Sean Fantino. And I'd love to talk to Stephen Ogg too, but they were just saying it's like anything else. You have a director there, you have somebody who's script supervisor. I mean, what
Yeah.
do you think makes it doesn't even have to be for video games actually. What do you think makes a good director for an actor? I mean, for you, for your performance, for collaborating with them,
Uh,
talking to them.
I'm directing a lot at the moment, so this is a good question. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking about things that I've done as a director that people respond well to. I like to start my sessions, my video game sessions, with a sort of 10-minute debrief at the top of the hour of how the session's going to go, ideally. How long we're going to record for, when we're going to take breaks, how do they like to work? That's a big question I ask every actor that I'm working with. How do you like to work? Do you like to go in emotional sections of the game? Or do you like to take it line by line? Or do you like to take it chapter by chapter? What do you like to do? Do you like a read through first? Or do you want to go in cold? It's completely up to you. And then I listen to them. And then I respect those choices and I go for it. There's always a lot of enthusiasm, praise, positive reinforcement. I sometimes use diagrams. I'll say to people, okay, your voice is going like that up at the end, and I need your voice to go like that down at the end. I try to make people laugh so that there's no tension in the room and things are kept light. But each actor is different. And I think to be a good director, you have to be able to hone in on what works for each actor specifically. Actors make fantastic directors. They always have. I have yet to, listen, directors are also great directors, but I've been directed myself by a lot of actors, and actors make fantastic directors because we understand actors.
Now, I've been talking to a lot of people as well about in similar, I mean, roles to you. They're in video games, they're in movies, they're in TV shows, theater, and stuff like that. Even just actors starting out, what they talk about more than anything is not even just for auditions, it's just the nerves and how to deal with that anxiety and like that self doubt in your head saying, oh, I'm not ready for this, I'm not able to do this. Do you have any advice for people who are dealing with, like, say, anxiety and nerves?
Anxiety and nerves, it's a great question. The more you practice, the less nervous you will feel, generally speaking. The more you audition, the less anxious you'll feel, generally speaking. So always say yes to an audition, even if you don't like the script, even if it's a bad audition. If you have the time, and that's a big caveat, but if you have the time to do it, you may as well do it. Why not? Um, and I'm trying to think. I do a lot of stomping. I stomp my feet a lot. just to get out the nervous energy, or shake your hands really fast like that, you know, shake it all out, literally shake the anxiety and nerves from your body. I think that was quite a big one. What else? Everyone's human, you know, no one is better than you. And I truly believe that if it's not this job, on to the next, always just think on to the next, let it
Perfect.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good advice, and I think anybody who wants to be an actor, wants to be a director, I mean, they can learn a lot from that. Now, Alex, I want to be respectful of your time here today as well, and I really appreciate you coming on. It was great to get these insights from you. I mean, just from people starting out, you know, like me, coming into this world and seeing how you guys are navigating. It's great to get somebody who's actually been through it and knows the good parts, the bad parts, and all the in between. So, thanks so much for coming on, and yeah.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
Great to meet you,
Bye-bye.
Alex. See ya.
Bye.
Wow, Alix Wilton Regan. Thank you so much for coming on, Alex. It was an absolute treat to talk to you and get an insight to a world I'm not a part of. I mean, here at Love a Film, we're talking to people who are in the film industry, and we want to get insights to what that type of life is really like, because a lot of the stuff you see online is BS and stuff like that. So to actually hear it from somebody who goes through it every day and, you know, doesn't just deal with the glamorous side of acting. I mean, Alix spoke about so many different avenues she went through. I mean, she started in theater, and I mean, she was like one of the youngest people ever to get into her theater program she was in. She was also, from there, went from movies, TV shows, to becoming a video game star. So I mean, this is somebody who really has, you know, gone through different forms of being an actor. And as I said, not just the glamorous part. She said acting is a world that is full of rejection, and it's a hard business to be a part of. I mean, if you don't have a thick skin, it can really, really hurt you. But I think the central message Alix had was, don't give up. If you're an actor, keep trying, keep getting out there and giving it your all. It ain't personal, you know. It's you're either right for something or you're not, and it's something you just gotta get used to if you're taking on the life of being an actor, I guess. I mean, that's what I take from it anyway. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.